Hey guys, now the video you're about to watch is just on my 5 sort of favourite lures, my favourite Mepps trout lures. So if I sound a bit jerky and jumpy, and it's only because I get nervous in front of a camera. So anyway, I hope you get some hints and tips from it, and yeah, feel free to ask any questions you like once you've watched it anyway, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. So I hope you enjoy it anyway. It's only a short one. Chappie asked me the other day on YouTube, young Gavin, what would be my first go-to lure and my favourite, and also the top 5 of my favourite lures, best lures, spinners for Mepps. Well, as you can see on the table here, there's a little mix. First 4 on the left is the Black Fury. Then we followed in there, the next 3 is the Aglia Mooch Noya. Then we have the plain Aglia, or a little group of Aglias there, just the plain Aglias. Then we have the Aglia Fury and Aglia Fluoro in a tiger pattern. Underneath that we have the bug spinners, white miller, stone fly, 2 stone flies, followed by 2 March browns. Then we have a fluoro in a rainbow trout and a brown trout pattern, and underneath that is the new release of the Aglia E lures, which are excellent in early season cold water and late season trout fishing. So I'll go through the lures one at a time just to let you know how they work and which is the best one of all, my preference of use. Right, first off we have the Black Fury. This is just a size 1. It goes right down to a little double O, 1.5 grams, and this is the 3.5 gram. One of the first lures I ever started trout fishing was with the Black Fury. I caught my first ever trout 54 years ago on one. Brilliant lure, good all round lure. Multiple colours, gold, copper, black blade, silver blade, all work well. The heavier one using the deeper water or deep fast flowing water, cast and just let it drift, great lure. Have to be right up there as one of my best lures, one of the top ones. Another of the later ones they brought out quite a few years back. Such a large variety now since I first started trout fishing, and this is the Aglia Mooch Noya. They pronounce it some other way in French, but I call it a Noya. And what you got to look for too if you buy Mepps lures, make sure it's got the brand on the blade, made in France. The Mepps brand made in France on there. Otherwise, there's so many copies being made in China now, and they're near identical, but they don't work as good. The blades don't rotate as well. With the Black Fury, the blade, when that blade spins through the water, it's perfect in sort of slower water, because the blade stays a bit closer to the body as it rotates. You go to the Aglia, which is good in fast water, because the blade is a wider blade, and it rotates a lot wider, at a wider range, and it works really well. And it's a great, probably one of the better lures I've used is the Aglia Mooch. A great all-round lure too, and the little tag. Sometimes if that tag it feels a little bit long on the bottom, this little red tag, with this one here, I've just trimmed. I've trimmed the black off the bottom of this one here to just gives it that little bit extra. You know, it just stops any more drag, and the blade rotates beautifully. The gold, black, copper, they all work well in any sort of water on trout. Great in fast water, especially the little ones and the medium sized ones. The size 0, 2.5 gram works beautifully in fast water, cast and drift, rocking it through the rocks there and that. And so do these. Just the little plain Aglia works just as well, and another great little lure. So really those 3 are my top 3 lures I love using, and I use a lot of. The next one which does a good job is Aglifuria, another good all-round lure. That's only starts from a size 1 and goes up to about size 3, I think. The Mepps Aglifuria in a fluoro in a rainbow pattern. Great cold water lure, early season and very late season, works a treat. Now, another great lure I love and catch a lot of trout on is the Mepps bug spinner. And this stonefly works really well right through the summer. One of the better lures to use in summer, as is the Marks Brown. This little white miller, this is another bug spinner. I've only got this these in the little double O's at the moment. Next season I'll have some size zeros and a few in the ones. Brilliant lure in tannin water, absolutely brilliant in little small streams in dark tannin waters, works a treat. Also, you'll pick up the odd trout or two, and if they get a bit finicky and won't touch things, if there's caddis moths flying around, which are little white moths, they'll take this in even in clear water on a clear water day. Then that's followed with these Aglifluos, a rainbow and a brown trout pattern. These start in a size 0 and then work up to about size 3, I think. Another lure that if something else is not working, give either one of these a go. And 9 times out of 10 you'll pick up a trout on it, or you'll at least get a hit on it. And then they brought out this new one here, the Aglia E. Gets in a variety of colours, orange ones, and they've got a little bead on the bottom that can look like a little trout egg. Work exceptionally well in cold water, early season, late season, and any lakes or rivers that are open throughout the winter. Give these a go. Try them out right through the winter. But really, I suppose my number 1 lure would be the Aglia Mooch Noya. I've had so much success on this over the last few years. It's really stood out a little bit above the others. But other than that, the rest of them, you can't go past them, because they all work well on their day. I've had days when they won't touch an Aglia Mooch Noya. I put a Black Fury on, same colour, bang, the trout will take it. Then all of a sudden they'll go off it. So you try a bug, you put a bug spinner on, they'll take that. Then they'll go off that, or they'll come up and follow it, nudge it. You can flick the lure, jag, just tip the rod to twitch the lure, make the blade flutter, and as it drops, the trout will grab it. But when they don't do that, you just got to keep rotating, and eventually there's one there that they'll go for, and you can pick up 8 or 9 trout, and then they'll go off it again. But because trout are so fussy at times, and it can be frustrating, you've just got to rotate your lures. Keep rotating your lures, you know. And hot days like today, bright sunny day, clear water, go and fish the fast water runs. I always do. Shallow fast water runs, trout are in there for the oxygen. It's much better, you know. And on the overcast days, well, you can fish anywhere with them, because the trout will move out into the deeper runs and start looking for food. But when they're surface feeding, it's always very hard, and that's where a bug spinner will come in handy. So yeah, so that's just a few little tips on the lures. Another thing I do with my lures, here's one here that's had all the fine stuff on the bottom here, all that little fluffy stuff trimmed off. So what I also do is get a pair of pliers before I use it, and I just clip it on here, and I'll twitch that hook around so it's off centre to the shaft, so it's out a fraction away from the shaft. So when the fish grabs, a lot of times they'll grab and they don't quite get the treble, but if it's off centre, each one of those trebles off centre a bit, a lot of times, bang, they'll get it and they're hooked. So that's just another little tip. Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, so get out there, get a few Mepps, try them out, especially these ones I've just showed you, and have a crack at it. I'm sure you won't be disappointed, and you will catch trout on them. You know, browns, rainbows, redfin perch, colour, a lot of freshwater species, apart from trout and rainbow that I fish for here in Tassie. On them in other rivers right around the world, the Mepps lures will still catch whatever fish you're chasing. So till next time, tight lines, and I hope this has been some help to you.